get on my side here. See. All right, so we're here. One of the common escapes that I teach, and there's a ton of stuff we do here, but one of the more basic ones that we'll go to is an underhook escape. Okay, this is still one of my favorite escapes. It's very simple. So whenever you're trying to do escapes, always stop trying to get out of the idea of trying to pull your knee in here. Okay, you can strip away, but Andrew will never allow me to have this knee in. So there's no, I have to throw combinations of things here. So a lot of times instead of forcing in, I'll go away just so I can start getting space so that I can move my arm easier. This hand can move easier. As long as my hips can be a little mobile here, I can start creating space, right? So in other words, I'm not trying to force my knee in and trying to get it in there. It's not gonna happen, okay? So I need to get here, and I'm gonna walk my hips around, forward, back, and then as soon as here, you can see I have an angle to get an underhook. So my underhook's gonna go in, and the way this is gonna work is, initially for the escape, I wanna reach for this shoulder, the far shoulder. I don't wanna reach for his hip, okay? Hip is not enough. It won't even move him, okay? So I need to reach for the shoulder, and I'm gonna add a bridge to it, as deep as I can get. So I'm pretty flexible with my feet going under my butt, but however far you can get there, I just don't want you like here trying to bridge, because you're not gonna go anywhere. Try to get like as far underneath your hips as you possibly can, so that way you're gonna reach and bridge for the far shoulder. So up like that. Now, when we get here, I'm gonna turn my knees down, and we're gonna get into a dog fight. And just take his arm back, boom. Okay, so we're here. Now, there's a lot of great stuff that can happen here. Certainly that he can do to me. And there's a couple things I can do to him. For jiu-jitsu guys, we tend to like try to go here, try to pull guard or something, right? That doesn't always work very well. So from here is what I've been starting to use the waiter sweep for, or the wedding sweep. So I have a hold of his hip, so this is good. I like to play a little game just for a second here, but I'm not looking to get into a fighting match with him here. I want to put my hand between our knees, okay? What's up, guys? So my hand's gonna dive between the knees, and I'm just gonna go back to my guard. But as I'm going through, I'm giving a far hit. Now we're here. Andrew's probably gonna keep a good base here, and like, yeah, just like that. I want to seem comfortable here. It's gonna seem weird, but honestly, when I start moving my hips around, if Andrew keeps this right here, that's technically a mistake, because we can simply just roll him over. I mean, it's pretty effortless. So when he goes to that wizard, he can't really keep it, right? Because it'll just fall over. So that'll be number one. It's pretty obvious. The person on top feels way out of balance. The key here is like, when I bridge, so we got one step of this is just to get our underhook here, reach, turn my knees down, get some dogfight. Once I get here, I hold the hip, dive between the legs here. This is okay for a second, just to get this connection. What I really need is this far hip. So the way I get the far hip is I'm always like getting to my back. This is one of the rare times I say go flat, right? But I'm actually bridging to reach as far as I can. Now from here, I don't want to just stay. I want to keep moving around, right? If I get close to his hips and he keeps the wizard, I mean, I can still talk as I move him around. This isn't really a strength thing. We'll just go to pretty good side control. We covered this a couple weeks ago, so we're just going to do it again, but we're doing it for side control escape. Again, the underhook for the side control escape is far shoulder. Once you get to the dog fight, it's a hip. So you got to switch from here to here. And we're just diving. So let's do that real quick, and then we're going to show what happens when he gets through the wizard. And then we'll just snowball type of things from there. Yeah. So he has side control. Use my hips, start creating space. I'll walk away. Got my underhook. I'm going to bridge. Get my feet under my toes under my butt as far as I can. Reach, bridge up to my knees. He wizards me to his dog fight. Taking my free hand to slide in between our knees. So I dive in. I'm going flat here. I want to stay connected. If I feel like I'm too far, I need to bridge up. And then I can walk towards him. Okay. But one thing here is make sure that you, I said last time, make sure you stick your ear to here. If I get lazy like this and he opens that leg up, right? It's pretty obvious, kinda. But in the middle of a roll, you may be posturing up and you'll get triangled pretty quick. So just kind of stick your ear to the leg. Cool? Cool. 2, 3. So a couple little things. Andrew had a good point over here. Your knee placement. I didn't talk about it a lot, but I kind of briefly said like when we get into the dogfight, there's a lot that could be going on. But Andrew had a really good point here. Is when we get into a dogfight, when we end up like this, I'll let him take over from here just to explain what's happening.
It's really the battle of this inside knee. Guys, if I'm here on top, and I know Ryan has his dogfight, that's why I can shut down his offense. By putting my whizzer down, yes. But if his knee is in front of mine, and I whizzer hard, I'm actually just giving him better access in my head. You see that? So as I make this, I have to step over his knee so that I'm actually here, and then I can start coming out strong with my finishes. Careful to know also when you do that strong underhook, people are going to try and step over into that power position. So the way to safeguard yourself is to really own this inside space with his knee. If Ryan gets this deep, anything I do isn't going to work. All he has to do is reach gable grip or S grip across my ribs and then pull me over this leg. Ugh. Yeah, it's not great. So the thing to keep in mind here is this guy's going to be trying to fight this knee over here, right? And it's in this moment where I pop here that is probably like its most effective. So,
yeah. So like losing the battle.
Just a thought.
What did you win the war? For sure.
So sometimes the guys just got you beat by the time you get out of the dogfight, so it's nice to have that option underneath.
Yeah, there's another injury talking about the injury of like when he's getting knee sliced, and he's having success over like here getting knee sliced, and I'm like, he's like a quarter guard position, we're like this, right? But I have an underhook. It's a great time. I know if he starts sliding out, I'm gonna lose this leg. But look, boom. Yeah, so it's a cool little trick to use the stuff you're already using. Just throw it in your tools. Because if you fail like shit, oh shit, got the quarter knee back pass. Oh, another look for it. There's another question: is the arm in danger? Not really. I mean, any position you find yourself in, it can turn to negative. Pretty good. I mean, you can have Kimura, somebody can step over. Now I'm at an arm bar, so even though Kimura is a great position. So positions and moves have their time, and then at a certain point, yes, they will do that. Same thing with this. If I just leave my arm out there and I try to hang out here, and he's like moving his body around my arm, and yeah, it's probably our arm bar or something like that. I wouldn't stay there. So that was a good point. I like the dogfight thing because it is and honestly, like I said, this move is kind of like, it doesn't have to be a go-to move. It can be kind of like, oh shit, I'm about to lose it all. And then you just go for it. I've been using it a lot more, and I kind of like it. So, all right, so we're going to talk about what if I go for the roll, any basics, and what happens then. So we're going to go for the dogfight. So I'm here, I get under, and I get this, and I'm like here. And I go to pull, I'm like, oh shit. And I go, keep my hips close, still can't get under. What the fuck, right? Well, I mean, whenever somebody lets go of the whizzer, and we're here, I simply just pop up. Uh-oh, right? There's a clear back take. Hey, is he working? So if they post, you just go the other way, right? I mean, it's pretty easy, because they're no longer blocking your head. So if I'm here, and this would be kind of the battle, and I kind of go through here, and I'm like, boom, and I go for the bounce. He does that, and I come back out, he puts the whizzer back on, bring him back, right? Be a little 1-2, little combo. Right, so we can literally just pop out the back. Let's add those two in real quick. Yeah. City in, yeah. So what I want you guys to do is kind of play around with it for real. Like, keep the whizzer, they go sweep you base. And what you'll find is, it doesn't matter how long this takes. This and this is what's keeping you alive here, right? Like, so, if we really go, Maybe something like that, right? I'm moving, right?
Can you show, conceptually understand what 1 is, can you show the secondary, like 2, you said 1, 2.
Oh yeah.
See what 2 is?
So 2 is just what happens when, oh sorry, let's start with this first. I want to skip that first part. So we're here, 2 is what happens when he lets go of the wizard. So they post. If he doesn't let go of that wizard, he's gonna roll. Only way he can stop himself from rolling is that. This post. So I can't bring him anymore. But when he does that, look at my hips. Like literally, he's open too much space. So I just want you guys to play with this. A little bit of like 50% speed maybe, just to kind of get the guy doing this. And you'll see by moving your hips, you're really going to be able to, his reaction time's not going to be fast enough. Cool? Cool. 2, 3. Good stuff. Okay, real quick. You'll start to notice like this stuff is like, it's about keeping your hips moving, right? There was one little kink in the chain here to where I got to the dogfight, and we got here, and I got like this, and he like drops his hip down, and we're like this kind of thing. You're like, Ryan, I can't get to the back. Well, I know you can't, because he still has the wizard, right? 1. So the first thing you get on post. This is where my hips really come into play. They have to move. If he doesn't post with that arm, which he will, because he's gonna roll over, boom. Our hips are just constantly in motion. I want them chasing me, basically, right? Me chasing them necessarily. So I'm making him, I want him reacting. The more he's reacting, the less he's doing to me, which is great. So we're gonna address another issue here, is when we get to the dog fight, and this is getting a little more fancy, but honestly, you'll find yourself here more often than not. So I get in, grab the far hip, and I get him here, he drops his hip. And now what they'll do is they want to go to reverse casa. So he's gonna turn away, like and look that direction. All right, this works. Oh shit. That works. All right. I mean, especially when this grip. If you notice, when I'm here, as soon as he rotates his hips, look at my hands. I can't hold. It's only designed to hold him going this way. It's not designed to hold him going that way. I have nothing. It just goes that way. But he's entering into a whole new set of problems. So when I do this, and he starts to turn, I immediately will switch my grip to this leg. Okay, so I'll come around, I'll switch the grip to this leg. And if he decides he wants to come back, like I got rid of the grip, right? He goes back to the legs. Now look what he's doing though. As soon as he starts to turn, my leg can chop through, and now we're in a lockdown position. All that happened was I'm here. He's stepping through. This is stuff I teach anyways from reverse case when people do this. I'll use my lockdown. I step, somebody goes behind the knee, and I get here. At this point, I could transition to this, depending on what he gives me. Usually I still have this underhook, right? I can hook, I can grab the leg if it's close. Any of these is okay. This, it's all fine. What the trick is when I have a lockdown, is to get my hips closer to him. And I want to scoot away. I want to get close. So watch my hips. We're going flat again. So here, boom. He's in trouble now. We enter into a truck position. We can end up taking the back. Right? It's a, if you already know this, the twister position or the truck position, all that, this will become very natural. If you don't, it's okay. Just try to get the stomp, get that hook of the leg. Even though you're bringing the arm around, it's okay, because if he turns back, your hands are already there. So you're just like, right, a little bit of a game there. But most guys, when they turn to reverse case, they're going to super commit to it. They're going to be like trying to back up, trying to get you, squished. So here, dive in, drops his hip, and I'm like, oh shit, he starts to turn to reverse casa. Boom. Yeah. Boom. I get the hook. And even if I can't reset, like I have this and I can't reset arm, I have this. We're okay here. I just start shooting my hips under. Right? Problem. Lifting. Right? If you have an understanding of this position, there's a ton of control with this. Right? And even if you lose this, and he goes belly down, we just follow him up. I take his back, he gets to his knees. Well, I could just roll back through there, I could just pull him back. It just depends on your understanding of the position. Right? But the cool thing is like, that's the other problem we're addressing, is they switch their hips and they go the other direction. Which is probably something I do too. I'd be like, well, I can't go that way. And I don't want to go over him, so I'm going to turn reverse casa. Let's see if I can hang out here. But once that leg plops over and plants, he has a new set of problems. He's entering into a whole new set of an arena of issues. Right? We got a timekeeper.
We got like 5 minutes.
Okay.
10 minutes.
Let's drill this last one, and then we'll get some training. Cool. 2, 3. Thank you.